All right, so we're back here on the debut episode, debut of the 2023 edition of Couch Coach Live. We are back at it. What's going on, Maui?
What's up, man? Damn, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and all that other
No,
stuff.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Feel like it flew by. Like all the
Yeah.
holidays, how it just flew by. But we're back at it here on Couch Coach Live to start off the 2023 year. So we got a great show lined up for you tonight. So we'll
hmm
recap wild card weekend. Give our thoughts about that. Talk about the future of Lamar Jackson and Tom Brady.
hmm
Um, we'll also preview the divisional round. Well, we got three NFC East teams um,
That's crazy.
battling out in the divisional round in the NFC, and then also we'll do our predictions as well. And we're just
hmm
going and another thing, and we're gonna actually end the show with a little bit of LeBron James, kind of a stat that's really interesting, and it really just shows his longevity.
Right, right.
So, what we're gonna do? We're gonna kick that intro, and we will be right back on Couch Coach Live. All right. So we're back here on Couch Coach Live. This week's Couch Coach Live is brought to you by the good folks at Goalie. Use the promo code Couch Coach at checkout to get yourself 10% off at checkout. So we had a very, very interesting wild card weekend that transpired. So first thing I want to discuss is what was your biggest takeaway from wild card weekend?
Man. Well, the main thing is, I think is the NFL is going through a transition, especially with the quarterback position. Like a lot of those old legendary quarterbacks, it might be time for them to really go. You know what I mean? Um, you can't. You remember when it was a young quarterback and you would automatically think, "Oh man, they're going to dominate them." If you really watch this wild card, man, that's not true. I mean, just look at the 49ers quarterback. Look at the Ravens. All these young quarterbacks are balling, man. Like, look at even Miami. Like, when I really watched the game, I was like, they didn't even go get like they did last time when got an older quarterback that's just chilling. You know what I mean? And bring him in. They went ahead and just put like he was a rookie, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what she had a finger injury. Was it thumb or index finger issue?
hmm
Teddy B.
But I'm just
Yeah,
saying, yeah, right, Teddy B. But I'm just saying in general, like he's still bald. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
to be a quarterback in the playoffs, like game on the line, he still did his thing, and that's my biggest takeaway. I did it. I think a couple years ago we had the same conversation about the NBA and how a lot of the older guys, you see the transition in the NBA where a lot of the younger guys are really not intimidated at all by the circumstances or even the older guys. It's like, hey man, we here, we just gonna take this opportunity. I think let me see. Uh the other thing is I got a few more, man. The Ravens may not pay Lamar. The Bills should have dominated. The Bengals should have dominated. The Jags won. Maybe they are who I believe they are. You know what I mean? And that's about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing about this weekend for me was we always and I know I use this analogy all the time when it comes to divisional games where
hmm
you really can throw all the records out the shelf. You
Right.
can throw away analysis through
Right.
because obviously with the division opponents, they're very familiar.
Right.
And funny how going into this week, I looked at obviously the Bills versus Dolphins as to me be a dub because Skylar Thompson was playing that game, and I seen him last week against the Jets, and he looked horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at with the Ravens situation with Huntley starting at quarterback versus Cincinnati. Those two games I really thought were going to be like the duds, but they ended up being probably arguably like they aren't the best. They were a better matchup than I thought initially. But that was a good that just go to show you where divisional games, regardless of if it's in the regular season or if it's even in a in a wild card round, and probably what we're going to see this week with the Giants and the Eagles, where you just it's always a toss up when it comes to those divisional games, and it just really just showed right then and there. Miami had a legitimate shot to win that football game, and obviously, you think about it, we are really a Sam Hubbard. If he didn't recover that fumble in the fourth quarter, we could be talking about this Raven team playing, and then also just a few, and then Miami, held a lead like going into the third quarter, like they were. So it's just one of those where it's just division games. Once again, it proves my point where hey, they're a toss up. Throw everything out, throw the analysis with the kitchen sink. It's always going to be. They're always going to be good games.
The Ravens still had a chance even after that fumble. Like I think it was a pass when he threw it into the touchdown, and it was almost like a Hail Mary. And if the guy would have, he almost caught that ball. If he caught that ball, man, I'm telling you, I'm just sitting here like there's a lot of question marks about Lamar. It shouldn't be, but it definitely is.
Yeah, because in theory, if you look at that Sam Hubbard play, because think about it, if that didn't happen, they might have scored. But then if Cincinnati was to come back, that instance they didn't have to go for a touchdown. They could have kicked the field goal and got out of there against Cincinnati. So
I will say this too: if you pay attention to, I'll bring that up later. Because we're gonna speak about it a little bit later anyway, or pretty soon.
So, what team and during this wild card weekend impressed you the most?
49ers. You know what I mean? It's so weird, man. They had 3 quarterbacks this year. There was Jimmy G. It was so much controversy. You know what I mean? And then what's his name? B. Purdy.
Yeah, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant.
Brock Purdy, right? And he's balling. Look, bro, he was 18 for 30, 500. Well, I'm sorry, 332 yards, 3 TDs. Like, and one was a rushing TD. That's crazy. Like he's, you know what I'm saying? Like your 49ers quarterback. And you just the moment, like I'm telling you, it's showing there really is a transition, especially when you see Brady's play. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like he just like, hey, we here. Like he got the weapons. They got him prepared and did his thing. Like I gotta say it. Like it's I said something later and I said there's a lot of teams that we talked about over the summer that was loaded. That you said, hey, they should be, go straight through, blah, blah, blah. And the 49ers wasn't one. And they made some moves, which I feel the Bucs should have done the same thing, where the Bucs looked exactly the same the whole season. They didn't do anything different. And the 49ers said, hey, we're going to do this, and that. And look, they probably the most dominant team in the NFL right now.
Yeah. And shout out to Brock Purdy, Iowa State. Ames, Iowa, one of our old stomping grounds in Ames, Iowa. So yeah, I mean, shout out to Brock. Man. Yeah. I think, and like you said, that San Francisco, that was, like you said, that was a good game as well too, because obviously, remember, Seattle was up 14-13 in that game, and everybody kept on like, oh, it's gonna happen. I'm like, no.
I said that.
Yeah, because you had the Seahawks winning.
Yeah, I said that because I'm watching it on Google. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the score like, okay, let's go. Yeah.
And then that third quarter, that happens. They just do that to you. And I'll put it this way: it's a few teams that I'm really impressed. Even though I had these two teams winning, I definitely the Giants. I think what they did.
That's good.
That was expected. I think it's more so. I'm not surprised or impressed, but I'm impressed kind of how in the way they did it. because even going to the game, I was like, they're gonna beat Minnesota, because you look at it, that Christmas Eve game is almost like they got beat by a 61-yard field goal, and they didn't play their best football. And I said if they kind of cut down the turnovers and compared to 2 turnovers on Christmas Eve, and they had 0 turnovers in this game, and look how they would have drive seeded this game. So to me, I like hell, and that's why everybody kept on saying, "Hey, with Minnesota, like we want to play them in the playoffs." So everybody was like, that was their dream matchup. That's what all the NFC East was clamoring for,
right?
Because Minnesota, that's just one of those things where it's like you knew this was going to happen, and and they rose to the occasion. Daniel Jones, he was very effective with the football. Saquon Barkley, they didn't turn the football over, and voila, they pretty much controlled this game from the start. I mean, obviously, I think they took control. Maybe I think like what was like a minute and some change in the first quarter, and then I think they never lost that lead. So
it's like I said, we over the summer we looked at the Vikings as one of those teams. Got a new coach, got some extra weapons, and the weapons that they got. We looking at them like to just go in and dominate. But I mean, let's just go ahead and say, like I said before, it might be time for him to go.
Well, Kirk.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing
and it wasn't all his fault. It wasn't all his fault though.
In this game.
Yeah, it wasn't all his fault. But that last play was
that fourth down play, like he should like at the purpose of that, I didn't understand what was the point of him throwing it someone in a short and thinking he was going to get some yak off of that, and obviously it didn't happen.
You know what I said? I said that it's Kirk Cousins. Why aren't they doing a play action? I don't know if I was like, why aren't they doing a play action? That's Kirk Cousins. That's what he do, But anyway,
Kirk Cousins legit. I mean, he's a good quarterback, but it's like
he is.
It's
I'm not knocking.
Like you said, it's just. This is like, average at best, as it happens. You get those type of results where, hey, they had a great regular season, but to lose in this fashion.
Right.
Even though I had, and this is another one where I had Jacksonville winning this football game, but the way they won this game, because I honestly, and it's so crazy. Like, I hope I was on air on Saturday during this game, and we were talking, and it was like, we was giving a score updates. We're like, okay, they're up 27-0. I'm like, all right. And I was ready to pull Trevor Lawrence out. I'm like, put CJ Beathard in the game, and just go home and just be whatever. And then luckily he came back, and just the Chargers, my goodness, like Trevor Lawrence had 4 interceptions, and then they had a fumble, so they had 5 turnovers in that game, and they still won that football game by 1 single point.
I know you remember. Isn't there a game where the Chargers had did something like that before, where they had a significant lead and then all of a sudden they just crumbled? I can't remember, but I remember we had a discussion and they were talking about firing the coach or the officer or something like that.
All of it. I remember one year the Chargers had the number 1 offense and the number 1 defense, and they didn't make the playoffs. Like, I'm telling you, they are snake bitten franchise. I mean, when you really think about like snake bitten franchise, you look at the Chargers, it's up there. I mean, there's tons of other teams that have been snake bitten, but you just look at, like, especially in the playoff game, you would never think in a million years, maybe a regular season game, but in a playoff game, you would never think a team that has 5 turnovers will win a football game and win by a point.
Right.
That will never. That won't happen. I mean, unless you're the Indianapolis Colts potentially and can blow like the biggest lead in NFL history. But that was odd. I just don't, how that happened. But
I know, right. FanDuel.
I know, but and that's why I was like, oh my gosh, I said that stuff so prematurely. I'm like, oh, get him out of here. The season's over.
But this whole season's been that way. You know that? Like this whole season has been. Remember the first 2 months, it would be like, especially Baltimore, like they will be winning like 20, almost 30 points in the first half, and then just collapse the second half. Crazy.
I know they blew a lot of leads, like especially in the beginning of the season. They blew a lot. It's funny to think when you think like, dang, they actually did make the playoffs after all those. Because I
Right,
think when you think about and all those losses they had, you're like, they were still a playoff team,
right.
surprisingly. But yeah, those are teams I think really impressed me the most. And I know Dallas. Obviously, I think what they did on Monday Night Football is for sure. Yep,
Hmm.
yep. And that's yeah,
Yeah.
and this is yeah, and that's I'm telling you, that's everybody. That's going Drew Brees, Stan Humphries, like I don't like you can really like all the in their quarterback history is definitely it's ridiculous like how the Chargers out like yep this is the same yep losing games yep that's the mo for sure
It's
and
crazy.
yeah and then also what Dallas did I think the way they kind of came out in that situation. I didn't think they were gonna blow them out. I figured they would give them a game, and it's funny where we talked about this. I talked about the game on Saturday about this matchup, and I was saying kind of one of the keys were Dalton Schultz, which he had 2 touchdowns in that game. So it's kind of one of those where, and like Tampa Bay had a weak spot for tight ends. Like everybody ate on them on their pass
Hmm.
defense with the tight end. So I knew, if they were going to be successful, he would be kind of one of the keys. And him for having 2 touchdowns, that's that was impressive for that. But yeah, I mean, they got their first playoff road win in almost 30 years to the date. So hey, kudos to them. But but so obviously, we talked about the teams that have advanced into it. So
Hmm.
we definitely got to talk about at least 2 teams with a notable quarterback future that's up in the air. The world, all right, where is my okay? So we got to know our thoughts on what's next for Tom Brady and Lamar Jackson. So we go with Tom Brady. What's your thoughts on Tom Brady? What do you think he's going to be
I don't know.
September of 2023 in week
Well,
one?
it's funny. I don't know. I do think he should lead the Bucks. I don't. Once he came back and this year how it was going, I think they should have added some pieces definitely to the line because I guess because he's getting older, he's looking a little more rattled. You know what I mean? It was some throws in that game. I'm like, I can't believe. Like for instance, it was a low scoring game. I mean, I won't say low scoring, but he was like uh, the interception. I'm like, yo, you that's not what Tom Brady do. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get the field goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like I'm like, what is he? And he blaming everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm. Some people say Vegas. Um, I heard Miami a while back. Which I probably think maybe Miami because I think he wants to stay in the sun, or maybe Vegas. I don't know. I really don't know. What do you think? You coach, man. I think there's a lot of different places. It's definitely a market for quarterbacks. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm sure he likes the sun.
Part of me is like, look, dude, retired. Like I told you last year, like I almost feel like the third or the fourth week of January, as long as he's playing, I'm going to have this plea every single time. Retire and be with your kids. I told you that last year, and what
Yeah.
happened? I told
Yeah.
you Tom Brady last year. I told you to retire, be with your wife and your kids. Now you divorced. You a single father out here in these streets. But I think in theory he should retire. But I know he don't want to go out like this.
Yeah.
But like you said, I really think he probably will go to Vegas. I think him pairing back up with Josh McDaniels, and that's probably going to, in essence, kind of save Josh McDaniels for a year or two
Hmm.
because they're gonna give him a pass this year, but he's gonna have to do something in Las Vegas. So I think that could be his saving grace. Obviously you have a guy like Devontae Adams there. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with Josh Jacobs, what his future gonna be there. But I definitely see him going to Las Vegas, and it would be kind of interesting with him playing Patrick Mahomes twice, Russell
Mm-hmm.
Wilson twice, Justin Herbert twice. And I think, that's really going to be like, it could be somewhat compelling in the offseason if he does go to the Raiders, but retire, dude. You'll be 46 in August, man. You 46. You don't got nothing to prove. You've won 7 MVP. I mean, you've won 7 Super Bowl titles. You have won more. You have won more Super Bowls than any franchise in NFL history.
Okay.
Any NFL franchise.
Well, let me ask you a question. What was the question?
What's next for Tom Brady?
Okay. So a guy, I met this barber, and he a Patriots fan, and he was saying that he believes Tom want to get one more because he either wants to tie. What did he say? Tie or get more than Bill Belichick? Something weird like that. He said Bill got 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. He said, and I was like, what? He said he wants to be the true GOAT. So he wants to blah, blah, blah. So, but he said he thinks that he's coming to back to the Pats. I was like, I wasn't going to tell him no.
But even with the Bill Belichick thing, he has one more because you think about it, he's won 2 as a coordinator with the Giants and then 6 with the Patriots. He's won 6 with the Patriots with him, and he's won 1 with the Buccaneers. So
that's what I'm saying. I don't really.
And that's the thing where I know we're looking at this as a logical standpoint, middle-aged men understanding. Hey, dude, you're gonna be 46 years old in August. You don't have nothing to prove. You have stood the test of time. And it's okay to go out like this. Nobody's gonna remember that you lost to the Dallas Cowboys. I know I'm not. You've won 7 Super Bowls. What more can you I know yes, you can win at 8th and you can win 3 Super Bowls with 3 different teams. I get that. But is it worth it at this point?
I'm gonna be nah. I think that he I feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think that his body is not for it anymore. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I think he's still, like they said, his numbers are still there. He still could throw. But I also feel like he didn't want to get hit. Like he really didn't want to get hit.
Right.
And I think that's part of once you get older, you know what I'm saying? Like, like I'm a boxer. I remember Larry Holmes when he got older, he stayed in that corner and wanted to keep his back on the ropes and throw the jab. Like he didn't want to go around the ring too much, I'm just saying.
And that's what I'm saying. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you're 46 years old. You're more closer to 50 than 40.
Yeah.
That's why there's a part of me. I'm like, dude, retire. Just hang it up. I mean, it's cool. You want to. Mm-hmm.
Aaron wants to retire so bad. It's like it's like they done did something to make him say, "Man, just give us another year." I seen him on a podcast today. He darker than me. Like he's somewhere, got the sun on him, having him a good old time. Like he really don't want to play no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he'll be 40 in November.
Yeah, it's time. You could just tell by the league. Like I mean, like, it's time.
Yeah. For sure.
Do you think? So, do you kind of understand why organizations do that? Like, where they kind of be like, "Nah, we gonna go this way. We gonna go young. We gonna go this way," because they'll probably keep, as long as he keep winning or keep being somewhat of success, he'll probably going to the playoffs, win a division. He'll probably keep playing.
I mean, it just depends. And I think if you do look at it, if you're a team that has great pieces and all you miss is a quarterback, you will take that risk. But if you're a team that needs more than just a quarterback, and you got an aging quarterback in Tom Brady, who's gonna be 46 in August. May I say that again? Like, it's not worth it. And I mean, it is what it is. It was 46. I'm talking, I can understand if he was like 35, 36. He had a little bit of a tank. But dude, you define the odds.
Yeah, I remember you last year saying it, and I was kind of like, I think this year I'm more on your side because the more, like I said, he looked like he was tensing up. He didn't look like he was having fun. It might just be time.
Because he ain't coming back to Tampa for sure.
Yeah, he ain't coming back to Tampa. He done.
That's done.
You see, Grok said that he would have came back, but they said that he was asking for too much money. You definitely could see there's definitely some things missing on it that was missing on that team, and he's never had good chemistry with Evans.
Yeah.
Like to me, him and Evans, some of those throws, I was like, it made Tom look bad. Like, man, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, but
yeah. So we gotta talk about Lamar Jackson. So
that's crazy.
Where he's gonna go?
I don't know. I seen something say the Jets, but I mean, you're the expert for this. I don't want to bring, because for me, I don't want to play the race card, but it's almost like you feel like it. Because I remember when they gave McCaffrey his money for the Panthers, and we was sitting here like, what the hell? Why this seemed like they just paid him out the blue? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm so what are you comparing Baker Mayfield and Lamar? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just seeing people saying he's selfish, he should be playing. And I'm thinking to myself, there was a guy that this area loved, and his name was RG3.
Yep.
And I remember that, and that was his teammate. And so he telling him like, look, man, you know what I'm saying? Because, and then it's like Josh Allen. Like Josh Allen really ain't did anything. I ain't saying he ain't balling, but he got his paper.
And this is what's going to happen, and that's why I wish I low-key want to have him put in the franchise tag.
Me too.
So he could be available next year. So everybody, when it's time for Justin Herbert, it's time for Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's gonna say, well, is he gonna get Deshaun Watson money? Because it's like I don't think Cleveland had a bad deal. So why should Lamar want Deshaun's deal? And this is the way I hate when people do this. Because if any job in any industry that comes across and you say, hey, this person's making more, and I'm more accomplished than this person, I want what this person is making.
Right. Nobody understand that.
But they do, but they don't want to.
Want to, right?
You know.
And I try to break it down to like somebody that at a job. Like I'm like, you the best frozen food clerk, and then they open up a new store and they bring this person in out of state or whatever, and he's getting paid more than you, and then he don't even have the experience and he ain't no accomplishment than you. You should be able to go to your boss and say, okay, if he's getting top pay and it's however more than you, and you the best, then you should be able to match him regardless. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, they didn't understand what I meant. They kept thinking of millions. Well, I'm like, no, man, you got to understand, like, you got to understand, I said, just be open-minded and put yourself in those shoes. Like, it's a hard game, man. And he deserved, like, you gave it, like, no offense. I'm not saying Deshaun Watson ain't a beast. I ain't saying he ain't a baller. He damn sure ain't Lamar Jackson, man.
Right.
And Lamar ain't really done it. He did one, and this is what makes me mad the more I learn about the entertainment. Like that tweet. You automatically say he did it, but you don't even know if he did it because there's so many bots, there's so many, you don't even know, and they hold that over his head. Now you're calling him selfish because of his me and this and that. You know it's a contract here. He is not Jones from New York Giants, where beginning of the season he thought he was going to be out the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we really talking about? It keeps, it puts, you know what it does? It takes those analysts that are that play that are black. It puts them on forefront to see what they're going to say, because, I remember when Hines Ward, who was quiet, had to go on ESPN and had to speak on why he didn't get a contract. Mm-hmm. And I had a buddy of mine, he hated football players that did that until Hines Ward said, "Hey man, I'm a blocking receiver. I got the most receptions in Pittsburgh Steelers history." You know what I'm saying? And you're not going to pay me, and I'm loyal to this team. I don't want to go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's just crazy, man. Like, I really, and then the way this guy played, they may not do it. They may franchise him, but they may want him to go. And me, I'm gonna leave it like this. Me personally, the way that defense played in the playoffs, I ain't seen that defense, and I damn sure ain't seen that defense since Lamar was playing, because Lamar had them up 30 points. But the defense seemed like, to me, they always let them back in the game. Then you put all the pressure on Lamar. That's all I got to say. So I don't know where he's going. I don't know where he's going. Maybe the Jets.
I think maybe the Jets. But you look at just from that standpoint, they'll have someone to draft capital that's needed for them. So I'm thinking the Ravens will probably put him in an exclusive franchise tag, where essentially it's like, all right, we're gonna put you in a tag, and then almost like I'm gonna let you flirt and spin the block and see who wants you.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's in our realm of what we want to get for you, then you get your own deal.
You want him?
It just depends on the cost. I'm serious, because if you think about it, if you have to.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
If you're looking at like Deshaun, it's probably gonna be like a Deshaun Watson type of haul, where I think he got, what was it, 3 firsts? I think a 4th and a 3rd round pick. It was a lot. It was, but the biggest thing was the 3 first-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be difficult. And obviously you have to sign him to a long-term deal. So
you think Atlanta taking?
How?
I'm just trying to throw some teams. I don't really know. I don't know where he go. You think Atlanta?
Atlanta's would be a good spot. I think the Jets probably would make more sense because they were so close to make the playoffs. So coupled with that, I think that's going to be a good scenario for them. And they got a good young talent, and then obviously they got the draft capital. Who's other? The Falcons. Probably. I'm thinking about those teams that were maybe like 7 and 10, 8 and 9.
What about the Saints?
But the only thing about them is their salary cap.
Okay, that's what I'm bringing up.
And I'm like, I'm about to tell them, I'm about to snitch on them. I'm about to call Roger Goodell and be like, they ain't got no money for it. They can't afford it no more. But if they do that, I'm telling them, I'm calling Roger Goodell.
I don't really know, man. Like I people say here the Jets, but I don't know, man. You think the Panthers?
Possibly. And they got the draft capital. So, that would be really enticing to get their first round pick. Yeah. I don't know. Possibly.
It's not. You got Chicago. It's a bunch of places, man, that they're gonna need a quarterback.
The Bears would really be intriguing because you think about it. They had the first pick in the draft. If the Ravens really like C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young from Alabama or Will Levis, then I think there's a lot of teams in that mix. I think that's why I think the beauty of maybe putting him on an exclusive franchise tag.
Mm-hmm.
To see, who can come up with the best offer. because even though the ball is Lamar's court, but they still got to pull the trigger on what's the conversation and what's the hall that they're going to play.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's crazy. I would have thought it's just ridiculous. Like they wouldn't have took care of this. You already know, like if you really almost make you feel like you should have took care of it before Deshaun. Once you saw Deshaun was going to, what he was going after, then y'all should have went on ahead and tried to take care of it. You know what I mean? And they didn't. They said they did. Well, he turned it down. They didn't. Come on, man.
Nah. He ain't turning that hand of money.
Mm-mm.
Nah.
The only thing he has not done, man, is went deep in the playoffs. So I was watching something today, and I know they was just, it's entertainment, so they were trying to have a debate and just point out that that they did good. They had a chance to win the game. They did they did better than they ever thought they would. And the most of it because they played Ravens football where the defense was aggressive and hitting. And they were saying if Lamar would have been able to won, and he really ain't won no playoff games and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here like, man, pay that dude his money like he's supposed to, man.
Yeah. League MVP.
Because when he's healthy and he's playing, I mean, look at Burrow. When Burrow was hurt, Cincinnati was nothing. But now that he's been healthy, look where they've been. They went to the Super Bowl. Like, look where they at. You know what I'm saying? As soon as he got healthy, you know what I'm saying? Look what happened. Like, once Lamar healthy, y'all successful. Y'all usually be the number one. Y'all usually win a division. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy we even having this conversation. But we had a feeling this may happen.
Oh yeah. For sure. Yeah. And we probably had the same conversation potentially next year.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Because Baltimore can be really petty and be like, you know what? This franchise, we time for a year. And I count low key because now you have three. Not three, but the other earlier the class and even out. We possibly Tua could be in there if you know he has a great year and he stays healthy. Even though I think he needs to retire.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's still there as well. It's still a possibility. But yeah, I want to see how with the energy as far as was Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow's going to do. As far as you know what people will say, even though they probably get their deals. Obviously, Joe Burrow, I think for sure. And then the Chargers, you would just hope they don't fumble that opportunity.
And it's weird. We still talking. You still got Jimmy G. You got the quarterback that got hurt. You know what I mean? It's still some quarterbacks out there that still over to the side. You know?
Yep. Yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So let's get into the divisional round this weekend. So once was 16, well, 14 teams. Is it? Hold on. Yeah, 14 now is 8. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's 8. So we down to the final 8. So which matchup to watch in this divisional round?
Let me see. I think the Giants and the Eagles. I picked 2, but you know what I'm saying, the Giants and the Eagles. Division, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm picking the Eagles to win, but I think that I don't know, the Giants played well, man. We'll see. I think, you know, to me, I think I seen them earlier in the season. I think when they played the Cowboys. And, you know, I've always liked Daniel Jones. I just was happy they finally got somebody to bring the best out of him. Running back, receivers, defense. I just think that, but I do think the Eagles just loaded. So that's the game I'm picking.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the Bills and the Bengals. This is a game that obviously would have been somewhat the game of the year, but 2.5 weeks ago. But obviously, we know about the Lamar Hamlin situation.
Right.
That pretty much postponed that game.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, and I honestly think between these two teams, whoever wins this game will be going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
I think for certain.
It's gonna be Bengals.
And then the Cowboys and the 49ers. Obviously, this was a rematch of last year where essentially if Dak would have gave the quarterback, if he gave the referee the ball, they would have actually played and potentially win that game.
Hey, I got a question. How did you learn that?
What you mean?
Who did you knew that before it happened? Because you know how I learned it. A sarcastic Tony Romo said.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's not gonna have enough time. He's lightweight hate on the low.
I remember that week because I remember Troy and Joe Buck was like, "Man, we supposed to get a Cowboys game." I remember that. They said he was a little pissed about not getting the Cowboys game. But you know what? How I found out, I think it's just I don't even know when, but I always know like when it's a no huddle, and they give it to the ref, and then he just he got the ball, it goes go on the field, and then he just spikes it.
What I remember is too, like you see, and I felt Dak had that same energy in that Bucks game where he just really wanted to win that game. You know what I mean? And he seemed like he didn't want to give up. Anyway, I hear you though.
Oh yeah. Ultimately, I don't blame him.
Right.
Yeah. So, give me 1 sec. 41.
But like, this is the Giants and the Eagles it's a big rivalry, man. Like the Giants, the Eagles have won 24 of the last 30 times, and like. I was watching something today and I was getting some information. It seemed like the New York Giants, they're on edge. Like, man, because there's a lot of similarities to when they won with Eli. They keep bringing that up. You know what I mean? They keep bringing that scenario up, and I'm like, okay.
You know what's funny about that? Because remember, they played the Dallas Cowboys team. It was 13-3.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys swept that season series. It's hard to beat the Giants 3 times in a row.
Right.
I'm just saying.
So
this a matchup. You can sleep in your bed. It's so close together. So.
He's so stupid. I knew eventually one of those was gonna come out. Like, don't sleep too close together. Oh man. Where we at?
All right. We gotta stay focused.
Right.
Gotta be like Dr. Umar. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
Right.
It's a snow bunny crisis.
Right. How many Negro slashes he get? 85. Hey yo.
This guy.
This dude.
Umar, bro.
Right.
Yo, he was my hip entertainment.
Telling you, man, hilarious.
The Pan African Prince is hilarious.
Let him get a couple of margaritas at the Fat Tuesdays and watch how he act.
Yeah, be over there with the sisters. but
he's a psychiatrist, right? Or a psychological doctor. What is he? He's something. He works at the schools, B. I don't
even know his occupation.
And I think he said he was a child psychiatrist. Could you see yourself taking your child in there that he got some issues? He want to have a conversation. That is comedy.
Oh my God! As a parent, I'm sitting in there. I'm monitoring.
What do they got you eating? Hummus? What?
Hummus is good though. I'm not gonna front on that. Give you some dark chocolate hummus. Get some pretzels. It's good, bro. Don't knock it. I'm serious.
Like, why are you? Anyway, let me stop. Let's focus.
Yeah, hummus legit. You just don't eat it plain. Put on a nice little salty pretzel. It'll go good with anything. So sleeper matchup in this divisional round.
Oh man, I really was reaching, but I picked them. So I put because it's funny. We had all these conversations through the whole show. We have not once said anything about the Chiefs, and that's what's weird. As dominant as they are, everybody's just like, you know what I mean? Like if they win or don't win, like Right. So I'm saying the Jags and the Chiefs. I did a little homework. At the time, the Jags was 3-7 when they lost. After they lost to the Chiefs, they went 7-1. You know what I mean? In home, Patrick Mahomes did his thing as usual. He had 300 yards, 4 TDs. And they're not the same team that they played at that period of time. So I think that's going to be I think it's going to be better than what it is. If you really want to be entertained, hopefully Lil Duval got like a live or something, because it is hilarious when it comes to them Jags I think it's going to be a sleeper team. I think now we going in there to see what they're really going to do, because for them to come back the way they did, because that first half was horrible, and for them to still win, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with the sleeper matchup as well. I mean, you obviously the matchup alone, even the coaching matchup is really intriguing.
Right.
Doug versus Big Red.
Right.
We know that's teacher versus the pupil.
Right.
Matchup. And two coaches have won a Super Bowl respective.
Right.
With the Eagles and the Chiefs. And then the quarterback matchup. Patrick Mahomes and T-Law.
And it's just a weird thing too, man, where, like I said, we ain't been talking about the Chiefs. And I mean, literally, even on TV, I haven't anybody really talking about them. And it just made me feel like we go in there, all the Chiefs go win, and the next thing you know, like, damn, they lost. But are you really going to criticize them if they lose?
Yeah, I mean.
You said, yeah?
I mean, I don't criticize them, but I mean, it's just one of those things where it's just like it kind of proves the point, like why nobody really talk about them, because
right, So
they got a shot though. I mean, obviously, it's gonna be intriguing if we got Kansas City and Buffalo next week in Atlanta.
Right, because that's what's the name's Achilles heel. I get that.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna be interesting. If they both make it, and then it's gonna be that neutral site in Atlanta, especially no one's gonna be a factor. Maybe the top will come down at the bench.
Mm-hmm.
But shoot.
Well, I think those. We'll talk later about that. I'm not a big. He's okay, but I'm not a big Josh Allen fan.
Yeah. I get it.
I just feel like they force feeding us, and he should be way better than what he is. Because I was sitting there like, they're supposed to beat the hell out of Miami. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, the hell. Then you can say the same thing about the Bengals. But yeah. That's my sleeper. The Jags versus Chiefs.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I think obviously the Giants and the Eagles. I mean, you can't beat it. It's each matchup in prime time.
Mm-hmm. And I think you just set it up. I think you basically just said something like, you can't. It's hard to beat them. Really beat any team 3 times in a row. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I think and people got to realize, hey, this is going to happen. But who was the team that has the most pressure going into this matchup? Well, it's weekend.
Um, like I was saying earlier, it was the Vikings, the Eagles, the Bills, and Miami that we were saying basically was stacked. It's the same thing I said earlier. They basically was stacked, and we all was like, "Yo, they got a good chance. These teams were stacked." But it looks like the 49ers made some moves in the end of the season, and they're actually where we thought everybody those other. So I'm gonna say the Bills. I think you can't say the Eagles, but I think the Eagles was just what they did was putting stuff together for their future. And maybe would win now, but basically definitely for their future. But the Bills been trying to do it for a few years now. They paid him that money.
Yeah.
Did he win MVP last year?
Who? Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
Nah.
Did he win the year before that?
Right. Nah, he never won MVP.
That's what I thought. But he got his paper, but you know what I'm saying? But he still have been losing at the AFC Championship or sometime in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Now he got his money. Now he got him a stacked team. You know what I mean? Remember last year we didn't know if there was a running team. We didn't know this. And now people saying the same thing. They don't know exactly what team that they are. They're all over the place. So I think I'm telling you, man, I believe if they lose this time, people are gonna start really putting questions and start looking at them differently, and they might even blow up the team a little bit.
Yeah, because their aspirations the Super Bowl.
Right.
For them to go down in a divisional round, it could be some head turning.
Right. So I'm saying Bills.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the Eagles.
Okay.
I mean, just for simple standpoint of just essentially what they've done this year, and then for them to kind of potentially go out if they do lose. It is a lot of pressure for the Eagles team, even though they have a future. We think, because obviously on the surface, yes,
right.
they have a future, but we don't think it happen in football. So,
right.
In theory, I think it is Eagles. Especially like I talked about earlier. With playing the Giants the
third time, yeah.
Everybody said, well, we smacked them the first game. They kind of let them in, as far as making the Giants making a game in week 18.
Right.
So, but I'm sure for this game they played, and we know that the third one will count the most. So no excuses out the window. You lose this game, you lost this game. You win this game, you won this game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. So, our predictions. So, who'll be the final four in the NFL playoffs? Who will make it to the final four? Who you got? We're gonna guess to do the matchups as the order.
All right, you want to score?
We can.
All right.
Chiefs and the Jags. What you got?
Chiefs and the Jags. I'm going Jags. Did I pick the Jags? Yeah, I got the Jags 28-24.
28-24. Okay. Give me the Chiefs over the Jags. 37-27.
Damn.
Yeah, them boys gonna light it up. And your boy, Mr. TikTok, he might do a little something. Juju.
Oh my God, I forgot about him. Yeah, let's go, Jags, please. Please, Jags, let's go. Oh my bad.
All right. We got the Saturday night game. Eagles and the Giants. Who you got?
I got the Eagles 31-14.
Yeah, give me the Eagles over the Giants. I'm gonna make this 28-17.
Okay, about the same.
All right. So then we have the Sunday afternoon game. Well, it should have been at night.
Mm-hmm.
But the damn Cowboys won. We got Bills and the Bengals. Who you got?
I got the Bengals winning 24-17.
Yeah, 24-17.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Bills over the Bengals. That's going to be a 35-31 game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe close. And then the nightcap. The 49ers and the Cowboys.
I'm going 49ers 34-17.
All right. I got the 49ers over the Cowboys as well. I got the score being 38-28.
Okay.
Yep. So, after the end of Sunday, we'll have been there before.
Right.
So you're gonna according to your picks, we're not having a game in Atlanta next week.
We're not having a good
it'll be Cincinnati for you.
Right.
But I think we'll have a collision course in Atlanta. That would be something.
What?
And your pick goes right.
What you talking about?
We have an AFC Championship game in Cincinnati. Well, no. Yeah. Because Cincinnati did win North. Yep.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm sticking by that. I think. I don't know. I was just watching. Even I was just watching. I just got the weird feeling. I just think that there's something. I don't know. Something about the Bills.
Yeah.
There's something about them. Mm-hmm.
And I think DeMar Hamlin will be at the game, bro. That place will be electric.
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon.
Right. I think he played. I think the Cowboys, they won a Super Bowl last week when they beat Tom Brady.
I agree.
I do. I think it did. They got to talk. I can't. And it's always great when they lose because definitely like watching ESPN. It's just so entertaining. And then I work at the plant, man, and you should see them, man. Anyway, let me get me started.
Yeah. So let's talk a little association. It's a little football heavy today.
Right.
What? Rightfully so. So let's talk about LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
So I always find it interesting. Especially for a guy of his stature. He's less than 400 points away from beating Kareem's record, which I think is going to happen on February 11th against Golden State, as I predicted. Hopefully. So he's had so many great milestones. Just a lot of folklore type of things going on with him. But I think what was really interesting was obviously when the Lakers played the Rockets and Jabari Smith, the rookie, told LeBron James, hey, you played against my dad your first NBA game. So I thought it was really interesting. So I want to pull up a tweet to show you how many of LeBron James' opponents father-son opponents that he's gonna get in his career. And I think it's very fascinating. I really think it's extremely fascinating. Because you gotta think about it. This man been in the league for 20 years. And let me see if this pulls up. Oh, got it. Okay. All right. And I just found this interesting because obviously these guys especially with us, we know the father and the son.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which is to me is crazy to me. And it's fascinating. So he's gone against Kenyon Martin and KJ Martin.
Right.
Garrett Trent Jr. and Garrett Trent Sr. Garrett Payton Sr.
Mm-hmm.
Love. And then the mid. The second. Rick Brunson and Jalen Brunson.
Right.
Big Dog. Glenn Robinson Jr.
Right.
And Little Puppy.
Right.
Third. Adrian Griffin Sr. Adrian Griffin Jr. Wow. Glenn Rice Sr. Glenn Rice Jr. Jabari Smith. And Jabari Jr. Jabari Smith Jr. Samaki Walker and Jabari Walker. You know what? I was a days old when I heard about Jabari Walker. I didn't know that was Samaki's son.
Right, that's crazy.
When I found that out.
Yeah, I heard somebody bring that up. I mean, it's crazy, man. But he started when he was how old? 19. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 18, 19 years old.
18, yeah.
So like, I'm not shocked, but we all been there, and I think those, like I said, it goes with the story. When you start asking those questions, like, all right, B, when you gonna start want to take those steps to leave? You know what I'm saying? High school, and then he comes into the league, and and then Olympics, and then playoffs, and championships, and MVP, and all these different things, and now it's the backside of it. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? Now you playing against dudes that was your peers. Now you playing against their kids. So it just goes with it. Like, no offense, like we were just talking about Tom Brady, and I'm sure the same thing going on with Tom Brady. It's just part of the story, Yeah. Like I said, I used to hang out at certain places, and you start realizing, music started changing, things start changing around you. Like, they're dancing to this, the Migos, and I'm like, oh damn, I'm Velvet DeVoe Poison on. I'm ready to, I'm saying, I'm ready to show it. You know what I mean? It comes with it, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember watching The Shop, and you see Bron and Draymond and some of them dudes over there, they drinking wine a certain way. But then I seen I think Kuzma and the oldest Ball brother was there.
Lonzo,
and they was talking about when Magic, when Magic stepped down, and they was like, damn, Magic stepped down? That's messed up. Okay, man, what you trying to do tonight? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my thought. It's just that time, and like the story of him being in the league is starting to come to an end. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think this right here, him beating a record, and hopefully, because me personally, he's been getting on my nerves lately, and but I it's just me though. I don't think he should like, he wants to play with his sons. That's cool, but he was saying even if he's just playing against his sons, he doesn't care. But I think that he should step out of the way and let them do them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In some type of way. That's what I think. You know what I mean? Because let them. And I'm gonna end it like this. I remember I was very close to my little brother's father. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, and I remember he walked through the door, and I was like, "Oh damn!" You know what I'm saying? Because that's the type of person I am. And I realized it's not about me. It's about my little brother. You know what I'm saying? My little brother and him needs to get close. So I stepped out the way. You know what I mean? So I feel like, that's just me though. I think he should let them do that, because I just think that's what I think he should, that's what I would do.
I agree. Because I think in essence, I want him to rush what Ron is doing.
Right.
I'm not sure I think Ron is going to be ready for the NBA in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to a school. Well, I think he get maybe developed for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he can come out.
Right.
And that's my thing where I don't want to hinder his draft stock because LeBron wants to play with him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like you said, I don't want to hurt their development. And then if you want to play with Bryce, he comes out in 2025. Will he be ready in 2025? Well, 2026 to be in the draft. And that's where, like you said, I have an issue with that because you don't want to sacrifice them in the beginning of their development. Where you, in essence, when you come in the league, you want to be in the best situation that you want to. Because you may not get an opportunity to get it to have the right fit to where you're going.
Go ahead, Chris.
And like you said, if you want your son to have a career like yours in 20 years,
right?
Will they? If they're forced in a situation like this,
right? The issue is it's the entertainment factor, and when your stock is up, and their stock is extremely up. Even we say it's because of him, but at the same time, they're making a name for themselves. Like Bryce is a big TikToker. I see, you know what I mean. I see Bronny is doing the gaming and this and that. So they got their own stock. Like some people, they do know LeBron James, but they know Bronny more than you know what I'm saying, in some type of way. You know the generation gap. So people be thinking, and there's no disrespect to what you said, but I think some people don't understand. Like, it ain't all about playing; it's what you're going to bring and how much money the league is going to make off of you. Also, and they're stepping in there with a. We've had this. You know, it's weird. We've had this same discussion about the Ball brothers, and I think he the one knocked that out the park. You know what I mean? Of saying we're stepping in here with this. You know what I'm saying? And then you see even, and I'm gonna tell you something. It's another dude that's doing it, but he's doing it in football, and we all know who that is, and that's Dion. That's Coach Prime. He's doing almost really the same thing. You know what I mean? So I hear what you're saying, but man, like today I listened to Kwame Brown talk, and then I listened to John Wall, and they're telling you, they're literally saying like Kwame Brown was like, man, I was before my time. If I'd have came out now, my career would be so much better. And then John Wall saying the same thing. He was like, man, if I came now, he said the mentality. He said, man, we didn't even. He said they got personal trainers in like 3rd grade. Like, you know what I'm saying? He said, I didn't get a personal trainer until I went to college. And he said, that's because I had Rod Strickland. So it's just, you see what I'm saying? It's just, it's going to happen. It's too much money to be made. You know what I mean?
I get it. Yeah, but I want to kind of talk a bit more from a basketball perspective.
Right. And I'm with you on that. And that's the thing. The back part or the shadow part that everybody needs to really be talking about, like, let's make sure they're developed to be at a place so they can be the best. Because, I hate seeing those last names and those guys. Like, I just seen Kenyon Martin's junior, right? Yep. And he was dunking all over the place. And I was like, yo, he dunked just like his dad. Like, that was crazy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Almost identical. The 2-hand dunk. Like, but,
And then, and that's like you said, it's all fun and games. Then you go to Houston.
Right.
What you think Jabari Smith and them going to be doing?
Right.
Down the line.
Right.
I mean, with their organization.
Right.
I think they're great players, but they're another one. They're in a bad situation. Right.
It is. It always comes.
Yeah. It's just the truth. It is just the truth.
It always comes. Like, they're in a horrible situation.
And Lord knows they're going to lake us.
You talk about the James brothers?
Yeah. At least they have a draft pick 2 or 3 years after they come.
And you know what's weird about that? It almost makes you feel like they hold those draft picks just to get them to. Because I believe that's really what the Lakers is about. The Lakers ain't about championships no more. They want to trend. They want to trend. They want to be, you know what I'm saying? They don't care. They just want attention. They don't even care about championships. I mean, you could tell. You know what I mean?
But y'all got a draft pick in 2029. Y'all could get Zuri James.
Woo. Horrible.
Don't forget to tip your waitress and waitresses.
Right.
I'll be here all weekend.
Yeah. The horrible GM, man. Man, you know, and we ain't had the show. You know, I've been over here holding my tongue. I'm like, where the Hoopers at? This is bullshit.
Right.
Horrible, B. Horrible.
It's ridiculous.
But I don't know, man. Even more what I'm saying is that's my take on it. It's real cool because he's still playing at a high level. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But it's still, man, like you got to know when to step off, B.
And it made me feel like an old man. Oh boy.
Right, B. You gotta know when to step off.
Right. And it's like I remember all these guys. Like these guys' fathers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he playing against him.
Right.
He feels doubly old.
And it's weird when you caught that. He also, but you know what's weird too? I think that's I watch almost every Laker game. So I stream it. You usually it's a Laker on local station. So they be interviewing it. He the most immature one out of all of them.
Yeah,
they said one thing you could say about LeBron, he's a big kid.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean? He's silly, you know. But then they said he OCD, like Coach Spoelstra said, man. He has to be. He said he says damn near scary how OCD is.
But yeah, and like you said, and that's kind of a testament of his greatness in a sense.
Right. I do wish he get one more. I wish he get one more championship because I feel like that parade in LA, I think he deserved that for the bubble. For the bubble, I think they deserve that, you know. It's been a lot. Think of Kobe passed, David Stern passed, Kobe passed, and then the pandemic, you win a championship. You can't have a championship. LA needed. If you really follow anything about Los Angeles, they need a Laker parade. Not a Clipper one.
I mean, hey, it is what it is. It will also be Inglewood, so it don't even matter. As long as we got that dump, we got the crypto.com arena, things will happen. We got that dump. I think we got out there, what, 3 years? No, was it 2020?
I thought it was next year.
I think it's next year. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because it is 2023.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. But they do need a championship parade desperately.
Yeah.
At least just bring back what's his dude from Stanford, the tenor, Mark Madsen. Go ahead and start dancing. They need him back.
Yo, it was a Laker. It was a certain player. I can't remember his name, but it was his day, right? He's an old school Laker. Mm-hmm. And I think he actually something about him had the most something, and it was more than Jerry West. Anyway, so this girl was doing like ballet and she was doing like spray paint. If you ever see NBA like when they when it's a timeout, they do some of the weirdest stuff. So the lady was spray painting his face, and no, she was spray painting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for him, and it was hilarious, because she went overboard and the paint started dripping down on, but the timeout was coming to an end, bro. I sucked watching the game by myself because I was in this joke rolling, man. I was like, damn, I could have somebody as silly as I am with me, because she was just like, I'm like, young. I think Kareem got like nasal issues or something like that.
I know he would have been pissed if he was there.
Yo, I'm That's my take. What is wrong with him, man? Like, why he hating on LeBron so bad? They all are. Let me tell you something, man. I talked to my dad about that. I said I cannot believe that a lot of those, like in Shaq's one, all of them dudes is so upset that he's about to break it. It's your fault you didn't do free throws. You know what I'm saying? You was supposed to do it, Shaq.
I know. And we talked about that too. And we were like, look, you got to get over this. And you only got a few more weeks, if that. You got days. You got to fix that. You got to fix your face, Spring.
Shaq making other categories. I'm the most dominant.
Just be like,
I said, I cannot believe these dudes is hating that bad. It's really bad that they hating that much on it. And you shouldn't be hating. You should be great because y'all helped him get there. Like, you know what I mean? Little do you know.
And that's why that's the heartbreaking thing about all this. Because like you said, he's one of y'all the reason why he wanted to be a Laker.
Yeah.
Like he looks up to you.
Yeah, like he never like Isaiah Thomas said, where did he come from? He never played college ball. He never had one of those great coaches.
Exactly.
So how did he get to like what's and then it's just all he had was y'all. Like all he had was all those great players from the past that played in the NBA. It's a difference between college, high school, college, and then NBA, and he is the prototype NBA player.
And like you said, those examples: Kareem, John Wick, Isaiah Thomas,
Jordan,
Bobby Knight, Dean Smith,
right?
These iconic
coaches
that reeled these guys in before they went to the pros. And that's the thing where I hate that they're not embracing LeBron James for this. And regardless of how your person feel, but this is an accomplishment that we might not have seen in our lifetime. Someone breaking this record again.
I can't remember his last name, and I'm upset about that. You remember who was the guy who Tony Parker slept with his wife?
Brett Barry.
All right, their daddy. That dude is ignorant, man. He was talking. I was sitting here like, right. He was, he said, he was like, did y'all not see the last, what did he say, 3 minutes or 5 minutes of Game 7 in 2016? He was like, it was the most horrible basketball I've ever seen in my life. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, everybody had their opinion. I respect it. But I was just like, man, y'all got to stop being so bitter, man, about everything. I don't know why they trying to add like all those old school basketball games was great and they wasn't.
Exactly. I want y'all to play 100 games. And I want y'all to play the biggest game of your life.
Right. Like
in the final 3 minutes. This is your final game. You didn't play 100 games between June and October to June.
Yeah.
I want you to be surprised. I want you to have full of energy. Like,
and then you had already knew they were down 3-1.
Right.
So you know the energy changed. And in the last 5 minutes, the energy was going back and forth. It was a lot of anxiety there on every side.
They're tired. Because they were talking about it on like road tripping. It was like just how exhausted they really were. It's like to a point they were just, it's just crazy too, man. It's like you got to. They talk about a brotherhood, but they really hate on each other. Like I've been talking a lot about that. Like I never thought. I know this ain't sports, but I never thought to hear comedians hate each other so much. Like dislike, that's ridiculous. Y'all supposed to make everybody smile. You know, it's the most. But that's
nothing but beef. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
it's everywhere. You'd be surprised who beat people when you won.
Right.
Look. We're not competing.
Right, we're not competing. Right.
I don't get it. Like I'm telling you, it's any realm that she in. You ain't gotta be professional.
Right.
They could just be neighbors.
And the millennials and then the generations after them, they like, man, like I was just seeing Scotty was this the dude from the Raptors,
Scotty
Scotty
Barnes.
Barnes, and Thaddeus Young was getting into it. You know what I'm saying? And then like Daddy was like, man, because he older, he talks to him a certain way, and then he's like, man, get out of my face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What's wrong with you?
Is funny, man. He's entertaining.
Right. He was like one intimidated, like, man, like,
I seen a TikTok of him.
His name is
He playing a game. I don't know. He's like, yo, Shorty got the Kobe song. About to holler at her. You playing a game,
what? Shorty got the Kobe's on.
He's on. This dude is crazy. But he's funny. He's entertaining as hell.
That's what I'm saying. Like, whatever happened, did you see that? They got into it?
No, I think I seen an altercation with somebody. I don't think it was Thaddeus Young.
No. Okay. But yeah, they just got into it a couple days ago. It was like shoot around, and they were trying to hold Thaddeus back, and Thaddeus kept getting in his face like, man, you gonna respect me. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah. And that's how it happens. Like, you think because you older, you just supposed to get respect. But it goes both ways. If you respect the younger person, I'm telling you, they're going to respect you back. You know what I mean? You can't walk in there just thinking you're going to get that. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's not even professional to me.
Exactly. Thaddeus, you're not Big Mama.
Your name is Thaddeus.
Yeah, you ain't Big
Mama. Wouldn't that be weird if you're a basketball player and then like, you go with a team and like the sorriest players trying to like because you're a veteran. He was like, man, you Popeye Jones, you get out of my face. Man, if you don't get away from me.
Like UD probably. I know UD be having that. Well, no. I think people know UD be like, no, I ain't touching him.
That's crazy.
Hell no.
That's crazy. Man, you don't get away from me.
Exactly.
Man, how many points you get? You average 1.2. You get out of my face. You just.
I wonder if they did that to Jerry Dudley.
I was gonna say Dudley. I'll be playing the game. My buddy be like, "Good shot, Dudley."
But Jerry Dudley was a dog at Boston College, though.
Man, let me tell you something. When they won at the bubble, he was like, "Yeah, I just want to let everybody know. I want to thank you. You know, what I'm saying I paid this many years into the league. I made over $44 million of my career, and my plan is, eventually coach. Then I would like to go to Boston College and coach, and then eventually be like I was sitting here like this, like yeah, he wrote his way. He said that's what he wanted to do. Him, man. It's funny, man. That was the best thing about that championship is to see people like they turned their back on like Rondo them. You got to get his respect back and say, man, I would really like to get into coaching and doing this and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, man, ain't nothing like Couch Coach Live, boy. She got the Kobe's on. I'm gonna go holler at her.
What? Like, this dude's crazy.
He's crazy. And Kapow, he's crazy. I was thinking about him.
Boy, yeah. So we'll put a bonus in these Couch Coach Live.
Mm-hmm.
Who get this week's game ball for you?
Man, I got to give it to the Hopewell dude, Hopewell, Virginia, Daryl Taylor, number 52 for the Seattle Seahawks. Man, 9.5 sacks this year. He's tied for the 20th in the league. He deserves it, man. Like last year, like I said, he got hurt in Pittsburgh, and I'm like, bro, look how much attention he's getting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's hearing his name. And then this year, we definitely know what he did when he ran off the field. He wasn't even cleared to play, but he suited up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he jumps off the field. But it wasn't even just that, man. Like, he's starting to have a reputation on that line. Like, I remember the next game, he jumped off sides. Like, I was like, oh, damn. But he's starting to get a little reputation, man. He's very quick on the line, and man, 9 sacks, man. That's what's up.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely doing his thing.
Yeah, B.
Yeah, for sure.
Kobe Bryant, his family too. He's my cousin's little cousin. You know what I mean? So that's what's up, man. Congratulations to them. You know?
Yeah, and that's Seattle defense is emerging.
Right.
You know, shout out to those guys. And like you said, yeah, they've done a great job this year.
Right.
Definitely overachieved.
I mean, I'm no. You think they overachieved? It looked like to me they did about the same, B.
Yeah. Dude, they weren't even supposed to make it to the playoffs. I mean,
Okay.
they weren't
Why
even
why would
supposed
you
to
say they
make
wouldn't make it to the playoffs? Because they didn't have your boy from Tuckahoe?
Yeah, and then you think about they were bad with him last year.
Right. So this is what I'm saying. Did they make it to the playoffs?
No.
Okay. So I see what you're saying. Okay. Because to me, I felt like they really ended up being exactly where they kept being at for the longest. You know what I mean?
Well, because basically what happened was why Seattle was bad last year because remember Russell Wilson missed like a good chunk of the season.
Right.
I think he missed a good little. Yeah. You think about even when what's his face? Geno Smith came in like spot duty, he won't doing much. I mean, that team won't doing nothing.
Right.
Yeah, we thought this team was one of the worst teams in the league. Did not think they would go on to actually make the playoffs.
Right.
Oh yeah, they over.
Yeah, they did.
They did. And they're gonna get better.
Yeah, they're gonna get better.
Now you think about it, they got a top. What they got a fifth pick? I think in the draft this year.
You think they need to get a quarterback?
Possibly, but I don't think quarterbacks will be available at 5. That they won't. But and they've drafted well. You look at their draft this year.
Real question before you move on. What do you think about DK Metcalf? I think his numbers up, man. I don't think he's where he's supposed to be at. I think it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think he's
he should be like an elite. You think about I wouldn't say he needs to be on a Justin Jefferson, Chase, Jamar Chase level. But he needs to be somewhere maybe like a Terry McLaurin, like a 1A or tier 2 type wide receiver.
Yeah, he should be better, a big boy, and he fast. And I'm sitting here like, man, you should be just him alone should be opening up for everybody. And they got the running back, and I'm watching him just drop passes and getting calls because he, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He talking all that mess, and I'm like, yeah, what's going on? Like, he should be better than what he is. You stop dyeing your hair. Stop dyeing your hair if you're not going to be dominant. That's how I feel like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he should be a guy that can really throw it as a jump ball. It's a 50-50 ball every time you throw the ball with him.
Right.
You know. But obviously he's not. I mean, at times. He has flashes, but like you said, he should be somewhat of on probably a different level. Like he should be up there. Just do this physical attribute.
Right.
For sure.
I think that's something they need to be looking at.
I mean, they got the 5th pick. I mean, that's really interesting. Who would have thought that Denver would have the 5th pick in the draft? Who would have thought that?
Yeah.
That's crazy. But
who would have thought that?
For sure.
And Denver's bad season was the coach's fault.
Yeah, they probably get another coach. We're gonna find out who that's gonna be. They got a task.
I don't think it was the coach's fault, but anyway.
I don't necessarily think so, but he's gonna be a scapegoat. He's probably the cheaper option.
Right.
You really can't get rid of Russell Wilson.
Right.
You know, even though people say that the Broncos brass be willing to eat that money, but I don't know. That's a lot of eating.
Right.
Yeah, gonna be $100-something million if you up. Nah. But I guess I gotta get my game on this week to Stephen Smith. I'm really looking forward to getting that book. Obviously,
word.
I'm really intrigued of what that book entails.
Think it's gonna have something about Molly?
Nah,
I ain't think so either.
That's the next book.
Man, I ain't putting that out there.
I mean, it's gonna probably be something after, like, you know. But I'm definitely intrigued about the book. I know he's been on the tour and talking about the book for months. That tour, as far as being him on podcast. I think he was on Chris Cuomo podcast about 3 or 4 months ago. And I, really interesting kind of what that book entails. Looking forward to actually buying the book and actually reading a book. Don't get it twisted. I'm literate.
Right.
Not illiterate.
Right.
But I'll read that book. Yeah. And it's just one of hate it or love it. What he's doing. It's phenomenal. He has made some crazy take. He's a caricature. But in the same token, his brand is impeccable, and you gotta respect his brand. And like this, I think could definitely could be inspiring and just a glimpse of his life. I think, which to me is a very fascinating life. Good and bad. He's gone through trials and tribulations in his life, and I think this could be learn lessons for anybody. That's why I'm compelled to read a book of this nature.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I did see something about his book was coming out.
Yeah. Straight Shooter. I think I might get it from Amazon. Like get that thing on Friday.
Best way to do it.
For sure. It'll be here Friday. Read over it. I ain't read over the week. It'll probably take me a minute. Yeah. So social media and final thought.
Oh man, Deshaun Morgan, Facebook, DT Morgan 78, Instagram. Great show. We back.
Yeah.
Moving forward. I done held in so much issues with LeBron, Westbrook, AD, Ham, and the rest of the damn Lakers. I can't wait to talk. You know what I mean? I can't wait. But good to see you back, man.
Yeah. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Couch Coach Live. Check out the podcast. Couch Coach Live. Yep. So, first Couch Coach Live of the year. It's in the book. And we'll catch you guys next week. And we're out.
You're welcome.